What if the biggest mystery of the F1 season has absolutely nothing to do with upgrades, race speed, or tire tactics, and everything to do with what we're not being told? Lewis Hamilton's first season in red was supposed to mean business, but instead, it's generating headlines for all the wrong reasons. 0 wins, 0 podiums, and not even a whisper of the fairy tale title challenge that run fans dared to dream of. Now, even Fernando Alonso is sounding the alarm. And his warning? Sharp enough to strip away the usefulness of any lap time ever. So let's talk about what's really happening at Ferrari, or at least behind those fabled red garage doors. When Hamilton joined Ferrari, it was as if a Hollywood script for the climax. A 7-time world champion at the threshold of the twilight of his career, on the greatest team in F1, on a one last mission for that mythical 8th championship. But 10 Grand Prix in? That script has been flipped over. The dividends so far? 1 sprint win in China and a 4th place at Imola. Good? Maybe? Legendary? Hardly. Hamilton has been thoroughly outrivaled by his teammate, Charles Leclerc. A driver now has the upper hand in all departments: qualifying, racecraft, championship points, and when Lewis does pipe up, it's never due to setup changes or infuriating race days. It's enigmatic, it's intentional, it's calculated. There's lots of things that have got to change in the system. I'm not in a position to tell you what's happening. There's lots that's happening behind the scenes. That ain't a driver grumbling about understeer or tire wear. That's an individual sending up smoke signals about something a whole lot more profound: structural issues, politics inside, technical issues, cultural conflict, and the worst part, nobody on the outside has the slightest idea. And that mist of uncertainty, that's what's sending shivers down the paddock's spine. If there is one individual who knows the pressure cooker that is Ferrari, it is Fernando Alonso. He came agonizingly close to championship glory with the Scuderia more than a decade ago. He understands the madness, he understands the ferocity, and he understands the pain of coming so close, then being snatched away. Even he's been left speechless by Hamilton's recent run of form. What's wrong with him? I don't know, Alonso admitted. It's difficult to form an opinion if I don't know all the facts. But Alonso has perceived what others are only just starting to notice. Hamilton's struggles at Ferrari starting to bear a suspicious resemblance to previous ones. At Mercedes, it was George Russell consistently beating him. Now, it's Leclerc. Same story, different team, different colors. The Mercedes was hard to drive a year ago, and Russell was on his own turf, Alonso commented. This year? Same seems to be. The implication is subtle, but strong. If the car is not being sized up for Hamilton, and his feedback is being ignored in the background, then maybe, just possibly, the problem lies not with Hamilton. But even Alonso won't quite put it that strongly, because like the rest of us, he's outside, looking in. Now here's where this gets serious. What if I told you that the guy who runs Ferrari's F1 program is on a razor's edge, and every action he takes for the next 3 races could determine whether or not he stays or goes? Tensions are simmering behind closed doors. The Ferrari board is close, very close, and Fred Vasseur knows it. But here's the twist. He's not panicking. He's not retreating. He's asking for one thing: time. When Vasseur unified the Ferrari F1 operation at the start of 2023, his agenda was clear: bring order, establish consistency, fight for victory, and to his credit, he succeeded. He provided improvement, even recorded race wins in a Red Bull-dominant season. But today, in 2025, things appear rather different. Despite securing the sport's largest name, the team has struggled out of the blocks. The preseason buzz? Down the memory hole. The podiums? Beyond their reach. The constructors' battle? Now a nervous 3-team battle for third. And now Vasseur's job is officially at risk. One incendiary Italian report states he has been given a direct ultimatum: 3 races, Canada, Austria, and Silverstone, to remain in employment. And if you thought that was a laugh, it gets warmer. Ferrari already made an offer to Christian Horner. Red Bull team boss said no. Now people are looking at Antonello Coletta, the guy who's dominating the WEC right now with Ferrari's 499P. But Vasseur isn't taking a back foot, he's striking back. Amid the media storm, his message to Sky Italia was clear, direct, and ice cold. Journalists don't decide who gets replaced. He said this kind of talk just throws the whole team into the mud. He insists that his own position isn't the issue, the team's environment and performance are. While there's talk that Ferrari might simply let his contract expire at the end of the year, he isn't panicking. We have time. Vasseur shrugged, there's time. Even Formula One CEO and former Ferrari team boss, Stefano Domenicali, felt compelled to step in. Speaking to Leip, Dominic gave a rare public endorsement. He is doing a great job. I told him personally, and I'll say it here, I believe in him. His advice: tune out the noise and keep building. But time. That one thing Vasseur says he has is running out fast in Formula One. Ferrari has dropped to third in the standings. Mercedes is charging, Red Bull remains in the mix, and the pressure from the boardroom is only getting louder. Can Vasseur survive the firestorm and finish what he started? What if I told you the most explosive radio message from the Canadian Grand Prix never made it to TV, and it could totally flip how we see the clash that took Lando Norris out of the race? This wasn't just a racing incident. This was two teammates, title contenders, and one brutal moment that's already sent shockwaves through McLaren. And now even Red Bull is getting pulled into the drama as Norris and Piastri thundered down the main straight lane in the Canadian GP. Contact between the McLaren duo sent Norris flying into the wall and out of the race. Viewers saw the crash. They saw Norris take the blame, and they saw the post-race hug. But here's what they didn't hear on broadcast. Red Bull's race engineer Gianpiero Lambiase was quick on the radio to Max Verstappen, and he didn't blame Norris. Piastri put Norris onto the grass and into the wall, Lambas told Verstappen moments after the incident. His tone was clear in real time. It sounded like Piastri was the one at fault. That's a very different take from what Verstappen himself said later, and from the consensus that formed publicly backstage. Norris took full responsibility, calling it stupid and apologizing to his team. But the fact that even within Red Bull, there was a moment of uncertainty, that's the twist no one saw coming, just when you thought the Norris past drama was cooling off. The Verstappen-Russell rivalry was heating back up. Verstappen and Russell had their own tense subplot in Canada, a moment behind the safety car, where Max briefly overtook Russell, and Russell immediately radioed it, and Max, not missing a beat, fired back, calling out Russell for dropping too far behind the safety car. Both drivers knew exactly what was at stake. Verstappen was on the edge of a race ban, and Russell's cheeky comment post-qualifying, "I've got a few more points on my license to play with now," feels a whole lot more strategic. Red Bull filed a formal protest, accused Russell of erratic driving, accused him of dropping more than the permitted 10 car lengths, accused him basically of setting a trap. The stewards didn't agree. Russell kept his win, but the fire between Max and George is now back at full flame. Even Jacques Villeneuve, never one to hold back, weighed in on the Piastri-Norris crash. His take: Piastri's move was nasty, nudging Norris left just enough to cause chaos inside McLaren. There are questions inside Red Bull. There's tension, and heading into Austria, Red Bull's home turf,